Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be 3 different looks with one palette that just came out. It is the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive palette. Besides showing you 3 different looks to do with them, we are going to be doing swatches and I'm going to be telling you guys my opinion overall on this palette. We're not going to make this intro this long because we have 3 looks to go. So make sure before you guys leave to give this video a thumbs up. It really is appreciated, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. If you have anything to say in the comments, just leave me a comment down below. Let's just go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so lots of new palettes coming and I am super excited that I was able to do 3 looks with this one here. This is the Impulsive palette by Melt Cosmetics and this is what it looks like right here. I don't know much about it yet because it hasn't technically launched, but it says on Trend Mood that is an 18 shade palette that features 2 sides that tells the story of Melt Cosmetics. The right side of the palette is inspired by the early years before Melt and the friendship between the co-founders Laura and Dana that started it all. It showcases cool tone shimmers and holographic foils, 9 metallic shades packed to the brim with pearl. The left side of the palette features 7 dangerously bold mattes in vibrant colors and 2 vivid shimmers that were inspired by their love for unique colors, but more importantly, they were inspired by their fun and fearless customers. The palette retails for $65. This is my first experience with Melt Cosmetics. I had never tried any of their shadows before, even though I've seen them all over social media, and I am very impressed by how blendable the eyeshadows are. I'm very impressed by how little fallout. The colors that they came out with in this palette are absolutely incredible. So I really loved my experience with the palette throughout, and obviously I get the inspiration and what they like based the palette on, and I think it's a very cool story. I do wish that the palette had more transition shades, just because I'm used to using more transition shades when I do my makeup, and I also wish that it had kind of like an equal amount of like mattes and shimmers. The shimmers definitely are so many more than the matte shades, and I usually like to stick to matte shades for my crease colors. So obviously I still did some looks for you guys that I thought were really cool, and I hope that you guys enjoy, but I do wish that the palette had a few more matte shades for sure. I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you the swatches so you can see how truly buttery and pigmented these eyeshadows are. So here are the swatches. The top side is the left side of the palette and the bottom side is the right side of the palette. So starting from the top, we have the shade 2012, Rule Breaker, Go Getter, Dream Big, CEO, Boss Lady, Game Changer, Profesh, and Bold. And then on the right side we have, starting here, Makeup Junkie, Warehouse Party, Popping Bottles, Shots, Tipsy, Cross Faded, No Regrets, Morning After, and Drunk Text. And look at how beautiful and how pigmented those swatches are. This really like took no effort. I didn't have to build them. I did maybe like a couple of layers with my fingers and they look this beautiful. I love that they don't have that much fallout. Some of the shades had like a teeny tiny bit of it, but overall very little fallout through the whole palette. Alright, and now that you saw the swatches, I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. Let's go ahead and get started with the first look. Alright guys, my eyelid is a bit stained, I think, because I did totally have a different makeup look on this morning. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. I'm using my Makeup Forever eyelid primer. I love that one. So the first color we are going to use is this one right here. This is called 2012 and it's this like beautiful bright yellow here, and I'm using it with an M504 brush. I started concentrating that yellow color on the outer half of my crease and then slowly blending it inwards and upwards so that it has a nice fade into kind of like a transition. So as you can see, I'm just kind of doing windshield wiper motions and then going back and forth a lot. And now that I have barely anything left in my brush, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that all the edges are blended upwards. Just like that. We don't want to have any harsh lines. Next, I'm going to grab this color right here. This one is called Boss Lady, and it was the color that I wanted to try the most because it's a really pretty deep burgundy, and those are my type of shades. I'm grabbing a Morphe M433 and I'm going to start tapping that color on the outer corner of my eye. Then I tap, 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 tap to build the intensity of that color and slightly blending it into the crease of the eye. And when I have barely anything left in my brush, I'm going to blend it into my crease ever so slightly. And as you can see, I'm kind of doing little circular motions around the crease of my eye. I'm going back with the first brush I used, and I'm just making sure that everything looks nice and diffuse and it blends into one another. Alright, so I'm blending it out a bit more so that it looks a bit more diffused, like outwards, just because the other eye I did it that way, and we want to look for symmetry so that both eyes look the same. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm grabbing the color Rule Breaker next, this bright orange right here in the center, and I'm using my E38 brush from Sigma, and I'm going to start building that color up on the first half of the crease of my eye. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that in the center here to the outer corner color. With that same brush, I just grabbed a little bit of the yellow color, and I'm just going to make sure that it still looks nice and bright in the center. So I'm adding a little bit more of that bright yellow back on. Next color I'm grabbing is this one right here called Makeup Junkie, mainly because I am, and that's one of my favorite hashtags to use on Instagram, hashtag Makeup Junkie. I mean, it was also one of the like prettier purples I saw. And this one I'm applying with the Sephora Collection number 13 brush. I think Sephora Collection has the best flat brushes. So I'm tapping it all the way from the center of the eyelid inwards, so 2/3 of the eyelid. I put a little bit of setting spray on my brush, and I'm going back and intensifying that color a little bit. Then with that same brush, I'm going to grab this color right here called Morning After, and I'm just going to tap it right here towards the outer corner of the eye, and it's going to help me transition from lightest to darkest. Okay, so both eyes now look the same. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup, and I'll be back to do the inner corner and underneath the eyes. So I'm back, the rest of my makeup is on. You can see a little like highlight and bronzer and like all of that fun stuff. So to finish up this eye look, I'm going to go back with the color Boss Lady, which is this like deep one that we have on the outer corner. In this little brush here, this is the Morphe M506, and I'm going to just run it right underneath my lower lash line, starting from the back and all the way to right underneath my tear duct area, just like that, running it back and forth with that little tiny blending brush. Next, I'm going to get the color Rule Breaker, which is that like super pigmented orangey color that we also put at the top, and I'm going to run it right underneath what we just did, a little bit, not too much. Make sure you connect it to the outer corner of your eye. And then I'm switching to my Morphe M332. I'm grabbing the color 2012, which is that yellow color, and I'm putting it all the way underneath my eye, connecting it on the outer corner to the top, just to blend everything out. And this way the bottom of our eye mimics the crease colors that we did at the top. I'm going to go ahead and put on mascara, and also this little tiny lash right here. It's like an accent lash, just to add a little bit of fullness, and I'll be right back. Just kidding, I'm back. Before I do that, I forgot my inner corner highlighter, which is going to be this color right here called Shots. It's a really pretty like cool tone purple. I'm getting it with my Sephora number 18 brush, and we're going to put it right here in the inner corner and blending it into the rest of the eye makeup above the eye and under the eye. Now I'm going to do the lashes. Okay, I am back, lashes applied. So you can see they're like not all the way through, like they stop right here and then go to the back. So these are just like accent lashes, like they'll just make anything a little bit bigger. They are from Velour Lashes. I don't know what the name of the pair is, but they look really nice. So let me show you guys the final look. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this eye look, and let's move on to the next one. The first color I'm going to use for this look is this one right here, and I'm going to use this big fluffy brush from Morphe. This is the M504, and I'm going to use that one on the crease of my eye. This palette has rather like bold colors, so it doesn't necessarily have like transition shades. Thankfully they blend out super nicely, so you'll see how I can blend it out all the way to like almost sheer underneath my brow, and it makes it easy to not necessarily have to use transition shades, but it is a bit more blending. So I'm just going to go in with my brush and back and forth, do lots of windshield wiper motions all the way to underneath the brow. See how that's like a nice wash of color, and it kind of fades upwards a little bit, so that is like kind of what we're going for. I'm going to get a little bit more of that same color and just concentrate it on the outer corner of the eye right there. So I'm patting, and then mixing it a little bit so that it blends in with the crease. Because this is the same color that we just used in the crease, it blends very easily into it. So next I'm going to use this color right here, which was one of the most interesting colors in this palette, because not a lot of palettes have like olive greens like that. It's called Profesh, and we're going to use it with this brush. This is an M441, and we're just going to tap it on the outer half of the eyelid basically. And I'm getting more and building that shade up. And then I'm going to go ahead and with the same brush just mix it into my crease ever so slightly. So I'm doing little circles around the lid and windshield wiper motions. And I'm going back and I'm tapping a bit more of it. I love these shadows with all that tapping and all that blending and no fallout. I did my face makeup before intentionally so you guys could see how like no fallout. They're very nice quality eyeshadows. Going back with the same brush, and I'm going to blend up here because I see a little bit of like lines going on. There we go. One last time I'm going to pat that green in place. So I'm going to leave that at this, and then we're going to go in with another color. So I'm going to get 2012 right there, which is a beautiful mustard yellow color, and I'm going to just put it on the eyelid. I'm using my number 13 brush by Sephora collection, and I'm just patting that color on the 2/3 of the eyelid that we have not touched yet, and then mixing it into that green ever so slightly, just like this. With that same brush, I'm going to use this lighter color green right here. This one, it's called Game Changer, and with that same brush we're going to pat a bit of that Game Changer color right in the center of the eyelid to mix the yellow to the deeper green. And now it goes from yellow to light green to dark green to brown, and it has a nice like fade throughout. So for under the eye, I'm going to go in with the dark green, which is the color Profesh, in my Morphe M506 brush, and we are going to just like blend that one underneath our lower lash line, back and forth with that tiny blending brush. Make sure you connect it at the end. And then switching to a slightly bigger blending brush, this one is M332 by Morphe. I went back to the color 2012, which is that yellow, and we are going to blend that underneath the green. Just like that. Back and forth, connected on the outer corner as well. And we are almost done with this eye look. I wanted to keep it mostly matte. The finishing touch is this beautiful color right here called Popping Bottles. I'm using my number 18 brush from Sephora collection. And we're going to pop that color right here in the inner corner of the eye. And I like to just kind of blend it onto like a little bit above the crease at the beginning there. And I'm tapping it on that inner corner. And then we're going to spread it right underneath our tear duct area a little bit too. Just like that. Make it meet the olive green and all those colors that we blended in. Okay, so this is what it looks like before we put mascara on. I'm going to go ahead and put mascara on and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the final look. Okay guys, so let's get started with the last look, and I'm going to start with this color right over here. This one is called Bold, and I'm going to use it as my transition shade. Again, this palette doesn't have a lot of like lighter browns for transitioning, but all of the bold colors that it has that have a matte finish blend out really nicely. So you can kind of blend them up and sheer them out, and you don't really need transition shades with it. I'm using my E40 brush from Sigma, and starting on the outer corner, I'm just pressing that color into the crease of my eye. I'm doing windshield wiper motions. As you can see, I'm like putting that color tight in the crease, and once I've placed it there, then I'm going to start blending upwards. So now that the color is placed, we're going to start blending around it so that it blends upwards and it shears as we blend it. As you can see, I'm doing little circles around my crease to make this happen. And it blended so nicely that I added a second layer to make it look the same as my first eye. Just like that, you can see how that like fades as it goes upwards. So we are switching brushes. I'm going to grab this one. This is the number 27 brush by Sephora Collection. And I'm grabbing this color right here. This color is called Boss Lady. It's a really nice deep burgundy shade, and we are going to place that one right on the outer corner of the eye. So I have my brush loaded, and I'm going to start tapping right there on that outer corner and blending it into the crease ever so slightly. Pat, 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 pat. Blend, 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 blend. And I'm adding a little bit more at a time until I get it to the level of intensity that I want it to be. Just like that. So then I'm grabbing my number 13 brush from Sephora Collection, and we're going to start using a color for our eyelid. First, I'm going to add Tipsy to the center of my eyelid, and then I'm going to go in with Crossfaded and put it closer to the inner corner of the eye to make it kind of fade a little bit. And I'm using the same brush for both colors. As you can see, I'm tapping, 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 tapping all the way up, going over that burgundy a little bit so that it blends nicely. And tap, 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 tap. So then the color Crossfaded I'm putting on the first third of the eyelid, blending it into the blue, and add a little bit more Boss Lady if you need to. Then I'm going to just take it across so that everything blends nicely together. For the inner corner, I'm getting this color right here called No Regrets and my Sephora Collection number 18 brush. And we're putting it right here in the inner corner of the eye. Blend it into the lid ever so slightly. Just like that. I did get a little bit of fallout with these colors. I'm just going to go ahead and swipe them away. I had already like powdered my under eyes and everything. And let's get started with the bottom of the eye. I'm going to start the lower part of my eye with this brush right here. This one is Morphe E18 and the color Tipsy, which is that navy blue that we used. And I'm going to go ahead and just drag that color underneath my lower lash line all the way to my tear duct area. And then back with my number 27 brush from Sephora Collection, I'm going to grab the color Bold, which is that brown color that we first used when we started doing this look, and we are going to put it right underneath our lower lash line, underneath that blue, to blend it out into our skin and to blend it with the outer corner. And then lastly, I'm going to get a little bit of the color Shots right here with my number 18 brush from Sephora Collection, and I'm going to put that one on the inner corner of the eye just to make it look a little bit more purpley right there. So this is the finished look before mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back with the final look. Okay, and this is the final look. I used the same lashes that I did last time, the velour lashes that are like teeny tiny. Alright guys, and that was the final look. I truly hope you guys enjoyed it. As you can see, I'm still wearing it. This is not my favorite type of look to do because it's a bit on the bolder side and the darker side, and I like to stick with a little bit more like basic eyeshadows, but I know that a lot of you guys who watch love the very colorful looks. So let me know in the comments down below how you like this looks and how you like this palette. It's definitely a very bold palette, so most of the looks that I came up with are on the bolder side. Let me know also if you are going to be picking it up. Again, the retail price is $65. Don't forget guys, before you leave, to give this video a thumbs up. It's truly appreciated when you guys do that. It helps YouTube know that you guys like my video and it helps promote them. And of course, if this is the first video you watch of me, my name is Patty and I would love for you to hit the red subscribe button down below and subscribe to my channel. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. I am so excited to hit that benchmark because I've been working 2.5 years towards it. So yeah, I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video and these 3 looks, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!